Okay, since we're on moral codes, this is part two. So moral codes are really important to have, like certain rules that you have that you just don't break. And I used to be that girl. And there came a time where that shifted for me and I made certain decisions that I wouldn't usually make. And the consequences of that, I was paying years down the line. Years and years down the line. And I know sometimes we do fall victim to our own selves and we've got temptations around us in this world. Sometimes we have thoughts of like, I've been living this way for so long. What if I try something else? Or there's loads of things and we have to go through these experiences, right, to gain wisdom. And that's why I don't believe in, don't do this and don't do that and make sure. Yes, there's certain things you absolutely shouldn't do. But generally speaking, really stumbling in life is what's going to get you smarter. Like, you're not going to be wise and be able to conquer bigger and bigger challenges in this life if you don't fall down. And when you learn how to stand up, dust off your knees, you learn a little bit more about yourself every single time that happens, and that builds your self-esteem. And no one can take you away from you, right? Like, so no matter how they are with you or no matter what circumstances you are in with people can't take you from you. But who are they going to take if you haven't even developed that you? So understanding, like, there's certain rules and regulations that you have for your life that you don't cross. After I've crossed those lines, I've come to realize how I did myself a massive injustice. And nobody is going to remain the same forever. You're not going to be like this perfect example of a human being. Things are going to cross you in life. They're going to test you. They're going to push you, crush you, pressure you in certain ways that you're like, oh my God, what's happening here? But when you hold on to that moral code and that discipline, you're telling yourself, you're telling your body, you're reinforcing to your mind that you are a person of self-respect. And unfortunately, a lot of women, we give that self-respect in a form of love. We think if we sacrifice that or compromise on that, that somehow we're going to get this love and respect back as a compensation for that. And you do not get any compensation for sacrificing your own moral code. There is no compensation. Actually, you get regret. And regret, let's not run from it. Like, a bit of regret, a bit of humiliation, a bit of being humbled is good for the soul. Like, no one should be living this life unchecked. And if you're living this life unchecked and just doing whatever you want and people around you are just not remotely questioning that, then I would question the people around you. Because this life is about growth and ascension. This is about us paving our way for Muslims and people of monotheism for the journey that comes after this journey, and knowing that we hardly know anything. Like, we're gaining all this knowledge to gain this wisdom to end up knowing nothing in the end anyway. So you might as well just go in 100 and stick to your codes. There's certain things that your own soul, your own insides will tell you, don't do that, don't cross that line, don't go there. And you might do it anyway out of habits, lack of self-respect, lack of, self-love, lack of awareness. Maybe you love someone else too much. That happens as well. And you end up giving parts of yourself and chipping away to try and make space for them. But actually it ends up just crushing the image you have of yourself. And then you have to rebuild from that. And I'll be honest with you, people who crush and rebuild over and over again have a lot stronger lives. They're a lot stronger in person, in presence. Because they realize, like, nothing really kills you. So there's good and bad to everything. But what I'm trying to say is that as much as you can stick to your moral code, please do, because you're reinforcing to yourself that you respect yourself and you're going to say as you said you're going to do. And keeping your word to yourself and others is so important. I lost myself because I didn't keep my word to myself. I lost my confidence, my ability to really look in people's eyes because I knew what I was doing and I knew what I had done. So that's why I say sometimes a healthy dose of shame is healthy, because it really does keep you back in line again. And sometimes you dip back and you're like, oh, what's my problem? You're learning. Everything you do, you're learning. Everything that happens to you is for your greater good. Even the worst things, because there's something you need to learn out of that. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's divine wisdom understands that. So stand by yourself, be honest with yourself and true to yourself as much as you possibly can, and keep practicing that until it becomes second nature. And slowly, all the little disrespects and the pitfalls and the problems you had in your life, they will slowly disappear, but you might get bigger problems because now you're a bigger and stronger soul to handle the next level of things that are coming in life. And that's the adventure. Don't let today's pop psychology make you believe that hardship is this thing that you need to constantly avoid. Hardship makes soldiers out of average human beings.